Well, let's discuss kind of who Movie Bob is.
Did you see the Howard Stern stuff?
What?
On the farms. He was on Howard Stern.
He was on Stern?
He was on Stern. And it was for the Adam Sandler video game movie.
Pixels.
Concerning his review of Pixels, Movie Bob got invited onto Howard Stern. And they were they're absolutely ripping him a new one about how much he hated that movie. That's like one of his number one most hated films.
I was going to say, it's not only that, but I think if you go on Movie Bob's YouTube page, is his most viewed video. I think far and away, which never made sense to me, but I think like if you maybe got the boost from Stern, Stern, even by 2015 wasn't what he was in like, an earlier era. But
right. It's just funny that he was on the biggest radio show probably ever, or at least of the 21st century.
You sure you telling me?
I gotta find an excerpt from that. I think that would be good to possibly preface this with that's like breaking news that someone found the transcript.
Wait, when did this happen?
It's not that long. It was right after his review, so that would have been 2011, 2012.
Okay.
Let me see if I can pull that up.
No, that would have been like 2015.
I don't know.
So
I'm trying to remember when Pixels came out.
That was
what you're asking me.
2015.
It's a movie I've never seen and don't really care about.
The reason why I know it's 2015 is because they, Red Letter Media, they needed one more or maybe two more movies to line up The Force Awakens as episode 100 of Half in the Bag. So they kind of
wow, they're big Star Wars boys.
Oh, yeah. So,
that is really silly.
So they really, for one reason or other, whether or not they actually cared or just kind of wanted to make a joke of it, episode 100 was The Force Awakens. And and so leading up to like The Force Awakens, they kind of reviewed a bunch of movies that they probably otherwise wouldn't have reviewed. Like they reviewed this Everest movie. Do you remember Hardcore Henry? Like the first person point of view, like
that's a video game, right?
No. It's a movie that's supposed to look like a video game, like almost kind of like Just Cause or something.
Sure, yeah.
So they reviewed that, and then as a result, also Pixels, which I think is the first review with Rich and Jack as actual like Half of the Bag panelists,
as real human beings. Instead of fixtures.
So I think there's Red Letter Media lore, and so obviously Force Awakens came out in 2015. Pixels, a couple months before they released. So.
Yeah, you got it. It was July 22nd.
Yeah, look up.
So Howard Stern says, all right, we got this guy, Bob Chipman, Movie Bob, whatever. He's got this review of Pixels, the Adam Sandler movie. It's like 10 minutes of him just exploding. This isn't a movie. This is a goddamn hate crime against the entire medium. Laughter in the studio. What the hell is this, Bob? Are you there? And I'm assuming he's calling in. He says, yeah, Howard, I'm here. Look, I stand by every word. Pixels isn't just bad. It's an insult. And like if someone took your childhood memories and just pissed on them for a paycheck. And then, let's see, goes on. He says he's got a rage boner. Bob says, because it's not just a bad movie, Howard. It's cynical. They take these 80s arcade games, stuff that was counterculture, which is my favorite word in that whole transcript.
Dude, Bob, like that's the thing with Bob is like he will always like because Pixels sucks.
Sure, objectively,
it's a hateable movie, and you want to like say like, oh my god, this is a funny review that's taking down one of the shittiest cynical movies ever. But then Bob has to suck.
He sucks
because he has to say like like it's counterculture.
I think that's the most important excerpt from that, and
right. I mean,
it goes on for like 5 more paragraphs of him defending his review, and Howard saying, "All right, maybe we'll call you back again."
He does have a series that actually is fairly like watchable, listenable, I guess. I mean, it still has the Bob like trademarks of over speaking, but. He does have when he reviews a positive movie, like a movie positively, his Sam Raimi Spider-Man review, it's very good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would actually, if I was to recommend anything by Bob.
So it sounds like you have watched much more Bob content than I have.
I was leading up to this, I decided to actually give Bob a try, not just watch a bunch of YouTubers complain about him, so it's like just to kind of get my own perspective. And
I've given him a lot of tries because I used to be a huge fan of The Escapist, especially Yahtzee, who he brings up like
a lot.
15 times in the book because he worships him, and Yahtzee is one of the all-time great video game reviewers.
Yeah, he still does it too, right?
I don't know, and I don't really care because that's another thing that might be important is I don't really play many video games anymore.
I guess we'll get into that. I guess we should probably under the assumption that someone will listen to this, we should probably have an introduction, I guess.
How do you want to start?
So greetings. Hello. I'm Duncan. We are not podcasters or movie reviewers by trade,
or video gamers,
or
writers,
or readers. Yeah, really. But we are interested in various internet people. This is my friend Will.
Hello.
We're lifelong friends. We've been friends since school, and this is basically the shit we've been talking about since we were 5. I don't think we have a name for this thing yet.
No.
Okay, but so I guess what kind of started this whole idea of doing something is we always kind of we're always gabbing and usually drinking a lot and talking about mostly pop culture and kind of shit like that and various internet personalities. But the idea of this specific idea to kind of start doing this was that Movie Bob himself, I guess we'll get into who Movie Bob is, but he re-released his infamous Brick by Brick, a Super Mario Brothers 3 playthrough, kind of, I think several months, I think back in
SMB3, and I don't know if he actually re-released it because it still says Fan Gamer.
No, because I think it only goes sorry, I shouldn't say, I think he just sold the overstock of it on eBay and posted a video about it. Me and Will, we might be suckers in this one because the MSRP of this book is $8 even, 800, and he charged
20
$8 for the actual book, and then I think $7 to $8 on shipping. So I think if I checked my credit card bill, probably about $20 or so. Oh yeah. So call us the idiots, I guess. But so Movie Bob, he made money off of this, but it's fun because I do, it's a part of internet history, I guess, in kind of a way.
I've been aware of this book too because I remember this showing up on the worst books of all time list.
Right.
I knew about Movie Bob through The Escapist, and Duncan, you actually reminded me that this book even existed because it's been, I wrote about 10 years since I thought of this book, at all.
Oh my God.
But I was aware of it, and when I was doing research for this, I actually read the same reviews that I was reading in high school. It started clicking for me. I was reading through people's old Tumblrs when you used to do that.
Oh my God.
Some people had some bad book Tumblrs.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Tumblr did have some highlights. It wasn't just Steven Universe fan art. There was some.
This is pre-Steven Universe.
Oh my God.
If you could imagine a world before that.
There was that weird era. It was Tumblr was still porn, but pre Steven Universe.
How would you describe this book in one sentence?
Tedious, hateful, and I don't know. Tedious. Yeah, it's tedious and hateful, and boring.
That's pretty good.
So that's not really a sentence, just 3 words, I guess. Which I think that's what subject verb agreement there.
Sure.
So, Will, what about you?
I stole this. I found it in someone else's review, I think off of Goodreads. But to paraphrase, the person said that roughly this book is a summary and that in honors English, college, etc., you're not supposed to summarize for your book reports. That's what you do in the 6th grade.
Yes. There was actually something that I actually wrote this. It wasn't in my notes, but I remember when I was driving over, and thank God I wrote this down on my way here in the car, which I shouldn't do, was that you and Billy, who's our friend who also read this book, you noticed that this was probably written at many different times for many different reasons.
Well, yeah, we know that empirically it says that.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, it's got dates.
No, I mean by the sections individually.
Because it was written over at least a third of a year?
No, we know that that section 4 was written over the course of several months. Act 4, sorry.
I believe.
Well, I was on Cold World.
That'd been so much
part
4.
That'd been so much more creative and fun.
Would have been.
That's not.
That would have been pushing it.
No. That'd actually been fun and creative. which isn't Bob.
No.
But like what you and Billy were kind of saying was like it was written like acts 1, 2, 3, and 4 were all, or sorry, probably 1 and 2 was written at a completely separate.
Now I wish it was acts because it's supposed to be like a stage play.
Exactly. There's so many things wrong with this, including like the little moments where he could have been a dork.
Oh, would that have been too much like Sonic? Sonic uses acts.
Yes, Sonic
he
does.
Hates
Sonic.
Hates Sonic famously.
No, all those hoodlums, all those Greek and Mexican hoodlums.
Blast processing. All the first-person shooter players. That's what happens when you play Sonic. You end up playing first-person shooters.
Oh my god!
Like Call of Duty or San Andreas.
Oh, like
another game he hates.
Oh, of games that you can make friends with.
Games with African Americans in it, where you play as an African American.
Movie Bob isn't racist. Maybe
I don't know.
He does say
he hates the Midwest very famously.
Yeah. He does say some problematic things, I guess.
He has a famous tweet about. He's got a lot of famous tweets, and maybe that would be worth going into.
I think guys, I do have a section here, the history. I'd say let's do like kind of an overview of who Bob is.
Okay, that'd be good.
Okay. So, I want to try to make
start off with fairly small amount of McDonald's. That's an all-time classic.
Let's give the audience an opportunity to do their Bob research themselves. I would say, like, because like I think it's more fun because I feel like what the problem is the Bob overviews, which I would recommend one of. Actually, I want to start out by like I know you disagree.
What Magic Mush?
Magic Mush.
One? Okay.
Magic Mush is a pretty solid movie Bob. If you want to get a movie Bob in 30 minutes. Because there's very few movie Bobs that I would say have brevity.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people tend to overwrite about him, and it's like there's probably a couple very funny, very hateful tweets that he's made, and a couple incidences. But like,
yeah, he's a
eugenicist.
Yes, he hates the Midwest. Anyone Republican, right wing, East Coast elitist.
I want to say
he is.
I want to say he's more than just his usual East Coast lefty, because he is.
Yes.
He is truly hateful of anyone that's not him, and I think he hates.
He believes that the Midwest, the idiot Republican voters, are the ones holding us back from him being in space right now and living in a sci-fi universe and having a robot to do everything for him.
Look at this tweet; it's pretty good. But I guess kind of if you want a primer on the movie Bob, the Magic Mush video is pretty good about it. It's about a half hour long. There's a couple things he misses and a couple things I think he oversimplifies. But if you want a movie Bob primer, there you go.
Or just build a better gamer.
I'll get to that one. He's a true child of the 1980s, and he's now in his 40s. This is a common trope you'll hear from person to person. The movie Bob is unique in a special way. He lives in the suburbs of Boston. I think Lynn, maybe? I don't know. I know somewhere in Boston. Real name is Bob Chipman. His alias is Movie Bob. He sometimes went as the Game Over Thinker as another alias. If you actually watch the Game Over Thinker, he has hundreds of aliases. From the Cryo Thinker, I think the Bio Thinker, the Anti Thinker.
Okay, yeah, I have not watched much Game Over Thinker.
Dude, the Game Over Thinker, it's so tedious.
Because about that same time I was leaving AVGN, heading towards Yahtzee.
I think Movie Bob was the bridge character you were missing.
I watched a little bit of Movie Bob because I'm like, oh, there's other video game reviewers. Let's check it out. Movies too? Love movies.
If you didn't know this era, like there was like, now that we have too much content now, there was just people you had to search for like people who reviewed games. Like it wasn't just
you had to enter New Super Mario Brothers review into your search bar and click enter.
Yeah, you had to. The feed didn't appear to you, and you had to almost be like told by your friends at school. I don't know how it worked if you're older, maybe at your office. I don't know, but at least for us, you almost had to be told by someone else. Like you couldn't just like find content. So I think Bob got swept up in that early era of just like if there was content to be consumed, it was consumed. If you've watched any of the Nostalgia Critic movies,
there's a billion times less videos on the internet.
Yeah. So if you were just making a video about something, you were popular to a certain extent. Not very popular. We're talking the thousands of views, but like at that time, that was considered pretty successful.
Millions of views would get like headlines in the New York Times.
Yeah. Fred would do that.
Right.
Let's see. He got to start in the late 2000s, typically doing reviews in the style of the time called the Game Over Thinker. Your lots of profanity, lots of anger, costumes, unnecessary plots, plug-in effects. His shtick that he was a bit more of an elevated thinker than other rant tubers at the time, which again was a genre.
Yes.
A person who just like turned on their camera and just ranted.
The old school milady.
Yeah,
fedora, which is extremely real.
Yeah. Again, if you want to go down,
those people have metamorphosized into different creatures.
Yeah. That was almost like a genre of person that doesn't exist. I think just Twitter is essentially.
I get excited when I see a duster in public. I clap.
You still see them. You still like.
It's like once a month. There's like a duster kid walking from the high school.
I still see twirly mustache people in Over the Rhine.
Yeah, those people.
I know.
I prefer dusters to.
No, the 2000s will never die. It's still here. Cincinnati. Just heads up. We're from Cincinnati.
Do we want to specify that?
I don't know. Do we not want to cut that?
I don't even want my last name, to be honest.
Oh, sorry, Will. Sorry,
yeah, that's okay.
Sorry, Mr.
Glockenspiel.
Glockenspiel. Sorry.
Yeah, but you can use your full name if you want.
I guess maybe we can cut that. Maybe cut it for now.
Yeah, that's
all
fine.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the only one in the room, so I can just say you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's just do that.
No, I'm fine with first names.
Yeah.
I just don't want it to be... anyway, this is going to suck to edit. This is 22 minutes in.
Oh my God.
23 minutes in.
Oh my God. Well, I think we started like truly just testing out the audio first. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. No, I'm willing to say Midwest. Midwest.
We are in the Midwest. We are hated.
I think
we are not the audience of his book. We're exactly the opposite.
So if you're curious,
I play first-person shooters. I love San Andreas.
So if you're curious as to what accent we have or if there's cultural specificness, do that. But we're not going to say the actual city until, I guess, at some point. Sorry, I lost my place. At various points he worked for Screw Attack and The Escapist. There was a time where you could make a reasonable part-time living writing about games, if you can imagine.
Yeah, and you had to be part of a group on YouTube to make any money.
Yeah, that's true. So
that's something that doesn't exist anymore.
No, there was like Machinima was one of them.
Machinima, Screw Attack, something Boots,
Normal Boots,
yeah, Vine Sauce.
Oh yeah. I guess. I mean, a different subcategory. There was the partner era, right? The group partner era, and then there was also the era of like Channel Awesome, which I've already mentioned.
Channel Awesome too.
So Channel Awesome, they were a complete splinter faction, and they went to a completely different website. They used blip.tv, but
all those groups hosted on their own website too.
Okay. So I was only familiar with the
what would happen is you go to the website to get the video a week early and see their advertisements.
Oh, that's right. Because wouldn't early AVGNs be only like a minute long, and then like they'd be basically an ad, for like to go to Screw Attack.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. I want to say Channel Awesome did that. So much of their early content is just gone. So
yep.
And
including the Howard Stern call in with Bob Chipman.
It was weird when you were saying that because like I was trying to, because it was just your voice like saying it, and then I was just picturing the Howard Stern like voice, like his just like annoyingness. It's like movie Bob and Stern on the same like channel, and just was is this what Marconi planned? Jesus Christ. Let's see. So yeah, you could actually make a reasonable living kind of writing, which was you definitely can't do anymore.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with BuzzFeed. Remember that?
My God.
People are just starving for content.
Yeah. There was
late 2000s, early 2010s.
I think until the late. I think what artificially pushed that era. This is not a politics pod. Was definitely the 2015 to 19 post-Trump, pre-COVID, I guess, era. I think that extended having a writing job on the internet 5 years longer than probably like the natural end of point.
I think all of my favorite writers, all my favorite blogs, they all have day jobs.
Yeah. I think well, we'll get into this, but I think Movie Bob is similar in the fact I think he has a day job now. I know he writes. He's been on and off writing for The Escapists. Screw Attack is gone now.
Dad, is he still part of The Escapists?
He got a job recently, and I forgot the name of the website. And this is like something I found out after I wrote this all down. So do not blame me for not writing this down. But he got a job recently because he predicted like the ending of a Marvel movie, and that got him a job. Like maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. So he is still
he is a relic.
Yeah. He got exactly. It was like no one, like, yeah.
Be laughed out of any interview if you use that.
Like I guess that was 2023, 22, maybe. But like Marvel was done by then. It's done now.
There's still people who are nuts about it.
I guess there's got to be content out there. Let's see. So he did.
We'll get more into the Marvel stuff later.
Yes,
I think.
Yeah.
Like 3/4 of the way through the book, it gets really interesting.
I didn't have too much to say about the Marvel part, other than just kind of it was a cute little edition.
I don't. I've got very different feelings, but we'll get into that.
I like the adventure. Well, anyways, we'll get into that. He also did movies and TV reviews. He started out doing the Game Over Thinker, but definitely what he does now is basically only movies and TV these days. I think he doesn't do any video game stuff anymore. I don't even think he really is a gamer anymore.
I don't know. You are way more up in your movie Bob research than I am.
Yeah. I don't think he's a gamer by any means anymore. I mean, so I think again, we're looking at the timeline here. He, like many others during this era, again going back to the 2016 era, he was radicalized by something called a Gamergate.
Oh yeah.
Like many people on many different sides of the political spectrum, this kind of ruined his, I think, reputation. I think this got him fired from I think The Escapist is what he got fired from for this, because I think it was either Screw Attack or The Escapist wouldn't pick a side, and he kind of demanded that they would, and I think that kind of led to him getting fired, because he was really, really adamant to kind of pick a side on Gamergate.
Was, to say something kind of unrelated, was Change the Channel related? That whole movement with
that is
Channel Awesome?
That is completely unrelated. That thing I think is more Me.
That's amazing.
That thing is more Me Too associated.
Okay.
Because I think they were trying to, first, side note, I would love to do another episode if we ever do this again on the Change the Channel document.
Okay.
Because that is great, because there's literally, first of all, it was like everyone took it at face value that this was like this like absolute takedown of Doug Walker, and if you like go point by point now, it's essentially
unscathed. He's unscathed.
Not only is he unscathed, I think now the only thing controversial about him now is the Wall review, and even then people kind of have forgiven.
That's what got me into him.
Yeah.
I watched that like 5 times. Every time someone I knew hadn't seen it yet, I showed them the Wall review. I was so excited. I'm like, this is going to blow you away. You have 2 hours? No? Too bad.
I would show them Kick-Ass, yeah. That thing actually is like a legitimately piece of entertaining work that isn't just one of his reviews. But
yeah, but at least with the Wall review, I can pretend I'm listening to an actual album.
Tweeting. I mean, long story, if we want to get into this a little bit, it was essentially like Doug tried to make a movie like an incompetent high schooler, because that's essentially kind of what he was, or definitely was at the time. And people were mad at him, and there was one legitimate complaint about what it actually is a fairly credible like sexual assault, incident that happens, and then like 200 pages of like Linkara complaining that there wasn't like coffee provided at like one of the oh no, Lindsay was the one. Linkara, he was complaining that this is for a different day.
Duncan, this is like my aunt talking to me about like her friends at the retirement home. This is like listening to your bridge club like stories.
These are my friends when I was like 15. These were like, I watched every episode of Nostalgia. I think I watched everyone from like 2009 to like, I think someone showed me Red Letter Media and I did a hard stop.
You failed No Nostalgia Critic November.
I did actually. I watched the Santa Claus review that he posted yesterday.
Oh, with Tim Allen?
With Tim Allen, yeah.
Maybe I'll check that out. I kind of love that movie.
Let's see. He's a political progressive, but he has praised, as we said earlier, eugenics and the extermination of people he disagrees with. Do your own research if you really want to go in depth, is what I'm saying. But it's sometimes hard to read.
Adjust your findings to your own personal politics.
Right. Yeah. We agree with you. That's what we're trying.
Whatever your politics are, we are fully behind.
We are your friends. He fancies himself an intellectual and an elitist despite being an obese, lightly employed media consumer by trade.
Jamie Pulpin image of a fairly small amount of McDonald's.
Look up fairly small amount of McDonald's. That's probably the one that describes.
We'll put it on the screen.
If you want to show how elitist he is, actually, we'll get into his drink consumption, which is what we'll get into. Show how cultured he is at the mixing of alcoholic beverages. He's a big Nintendo fanboy, if you can't tell by the title of the book. There's a famous picture, not just the McDonald's one, but the
we are too, which is what makes us somewhat qualified.
Exactly, yeah. I think we are both Mario fans.
Yeah, I love Mario.
I think side note, 2 years ago, me and Will, we made a pact that we made. I think we lived up to a pact we made when we were like 8 to watch the Mario movie when it came out.
Yes, we are, I think, embarrassingly interested in Mario, and I did have that in my notes that I remember having you. I have a very vivid memory of having you at my house, getting onto YouTube when I'm like 9, and entering into the search bar because again, no algorithm. Mario Brothers movie, and there was a few results. I'm like, look at this, and it was just like slowed down clips of the Mario Tennis cutscenes set to epic music, and that's content, baby.
The one that's kind of made history, is the famous Gangsta's Paradise Sonic AMV. But like there were so many AMVs for like anything at the time.
Oh yeah,
and that was just one of them. And Will tricked me.
No, I was convinced because I'd never played that game before. I'm like, I don't know why there's all these tennis rackets, but it looks awesome. I didn't have a GameCube.
I do remember that. I remember that. Yeah. So me and Will got. I think we shared a picture of craft beer at a local establishment and walked to the movie theater. And we're the only adults in there that weren't forced there.
Yeah.
Not a man-child part of the we live in, I guess. Or at least the theater we went to.
You know, it wasn't as magical as my 9-year-old self.
I thought
told myself it would be.
If we don't want to get, this is not going to become a Mario movie review, but I think it was exactly what the Mario movie.
I would have loved it.
Oh yeah,
I would have loved it as a kid.
Well, I think my actual biggest criticism is just they did not use enough Mario music.
Yeah.
I think that was a big issue for me. Let's see.
But what are they doing for the fans?
Oh, I guess related to this, they just announced the Mario Galaxy movie. So I finished Mario Galaxy, both Luigi and Mario with all 120 stars. Not fucking worth it.
No, I don't think so.
Not worth it, but I'm glad I did it, and I got that little postcard at the end. So needless to say, me and Will are actually Mario fans, so we're not coming at this from like a Nintendo hater standpoint. In fact, I think we're both. I would
huge
say,
fans.
I would say huge fans. I even bought the Switch too, and I've only played Stardew Valley on it.
I think I've played every major release of Mario.
Oh wait, I guess not to go off on video games too much, but I did start playing Donkey Kong Bonanza a little bit more, and I would actually give it a recommend. I was originally hesitant on it, and it's
when I get a Switch too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would.
I think I'll wait a few years.
Wait a few years, yeah. It's good, but not like get it tomorrow. Good,
but Mario Wonder, love that game. 100%ed it in the same week I bought it. I think. Brutal hard. I really appreciate it.
Oh my god. It was that game's good. I it's weirdly, I think it's not in the zeitgeist. Although I did see a Wonder Seed in the new trailer for the Galaxy game, so maybe it is entering the Mario canon. I guess
I just played it too fast to remember anything about it.
There's DLC coming.
I got it. Something happened in my head where I'm like, I'm not a real man if I can't beat this game 100% in 1 week. And then you're done, and it's like a post-nut realization that, I got nothing from this.
I tried to 100% it on a plane coming back from my honeymoon. And this just Italian serviceman, like from the military, was next to me, and I was playing Mario Wonder, trying to 100% it on a plane.
Wow! With the sound all the way up.
I did. It wasn't that. Thank God I had it turned down. Maybe I forgot. I don't know. Anyway, back to.
I can't play video games on planes. I'm so worried about people seeing me. I have to bring a book. I have to look cultured.
You are the 15th most embarrassing person on it. Like, you're not farting. You're not. Your kids aren't screaming. You didn't sneak on like little wine shooters.
Yeah, it didn't bring a whole Outback Steakhouse dinner from the airport with me. And I'm trying to stuff the bloomin' onions. In my carry-on.
I always love that I'm always like the second drunkest person on a plane, because like there is always that one person who's like just reeks of booze and just like they permeate the cabin. Thank God maybe that is me sometimes. I don't know. So he's a, on top of a Nintendo fanboy, like we said, Star Wars and Marvel. Again, he sees himself as an elitist, but his tastes are so mainstream. They're
basic.
Basic, I would say,
like Nintendo's basic bitch stuff.
Yeah. I think he fancies himself an elitist. Again, we'll get into his.
It's like saying you like orange juice.
Yeah, we'll get into his. Like I said,
most people like orange juice.
Yeah, but he fancies himself, because it's not Coke. He's. It's a step above, I guess.
Oh, I guess, yeah. It'd be more like he's a big Coke fan, and anyone who likes Pepsi should be eliminated.
Yes. That's a running theme. Probably that's more so Acts 1 and 2, parts 1 and 2. God, keep doing it. He is the format for the 38-year-old consumer meme from several years ago, if you remember that one.
Whoa, no kidding.
Yeah. He's the outline for that.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, no, I did not know that.
Yeah. It's a movie. It's movie Bob in like soy jack form.
Okay, so he's really pulling all the strings. In ways that he doesn't even recognize.
Yeah, no. It's funny because we'll get into this later, but like he's his actual engagement is very low, but his cultural spread it's so wide, really. But he's an avid Twitter and Blue Sky enjoyer. I'm sure I didn't have to say that, but he posts a dozen times. I think someone actually did like calculate it, and it's like he posts, I think 50 times a day. Like it is kind of nuts, or some type of retweet. I really don't know how this stuff works.
If we generate this into a video, which I'm thinking of doing, I'm going to post the stats for his tweets. I want to figure out how many tweets a day it is.
Well, the problem is I think he closed his Twitter and he only posts on Blue Sky now. So I think like a lot of those numbers are lost and probably aren't reflective of his body of work of posting.
Post a lot.
But like I said, his YouTube channel is relatively low subscribers and view counts for a person this relatively well known. He's better known as a poster and a spectacle. I'm losing a lot of P's right now. Very good podcasting. Rather than work as a content creator. His early career as a video essayist pioneer is largely forgotten, which is kind of like shocking because he kind of did like he's the first one to really kind of think like during a YouTube review.
Sure. He wasn't like the rage characters, irate gamer, angry video gamer. Yeah. That was a lot of
Yeah, he kind of like what we now know as a video essayist was kind of. I mean, I wouldn't say he's the first one just because I didn't do this much research.
Certainly not the best.
Certainly not the best, but the idea of just like having your thoughts kind of written out and like spoken of, and you're not just raging. It's like
instead of going for straight comedy.
Yeah. So it's like if you like video essays, and I think we both do. We kind of love hate, I guess.
You're more of a video essay guy than I am.
It's a love hate for me then, because I do. It is probably my favorite format.
There are only a few YouTubers that I like anymore. The herd is getting thinner and thinner.
Yeah, I think all the good ones, they have sparse upload schedules or diminishing returns, I guess. I think
all the ones where in the comments go, "Oh, when we most needed him, he returned."
Yeah. If Frederick Knudsen.
Yeah. Does he put out a good one?
Not recently, really. Yeah, even the ones that have come are kind of dull. Love his early content, but definitely the output's not there. And
Internet Historian.
Yeah, similar thing too.
Extremely high quality videos, about once a year, sometimes 2 years.
See, the problem is like it's gotten. I mean, again, what we believe is what you believe in.
That's right.
Well, preface this, but just like the idea that like everything has to be gone, everything that's kind of good has to be kind of done through kind of like a leftist, like kind of intellectual kind of lens. Like nothing can be really done through kind of just like a I went apolitical to like just kind of neutral tone. Again, maybe that's just how the times are, or just kind of how intellectuals think. But I think just like it's kind of hard to listen to sometimes. I listened to a video essay, and boy, this was a waste of time. It was one about Disney adults, and I was like, okay, this could be.
I'd watch that.
Okay, it's interesting.
Send that to me.
It could have been interesting, but it was more so because I'm a side note theme park fan, I guess.
Defunctland. I love all of his essays.
Yes, he does a good job. He does good, and he's a bit again.
Boy, he has some wacky interest.
Mm-hmm. I think, but this guy, he was trying to like, I would say, kind of justify his interest in Disney. That's not him. It's more of a self-justification of being like a Disney fan that's not a Disney adult. And like to him, it was like it's about the consumerism behind it. And I was like, I don't know, just admit you're a Disney fan. I don't. You don't have to intellectualize it and write it down.
Yeah, we're Mario fans. We're not above that.
Yeah,
I love a little Bing Bing Wahoo.
Let's see. What I actually noticed was funny is that videos making fun of him, very high engagement. So the actual engagement to his content very low, maybe 10,000 views a video, which is pretty bad for a fairly well-known YouTuber. But like the Magic Mush video, like the one I mentioned earlier, 1 million views. I believe That Gamer from Mars made a video that's almost.
I think even Deadwing Dork has one.
He has one. I think that one's got several 100,000 views, and he's a pretty obscure YouTuber. Not obscure, but you know. Yeah. That's a good. That's a wreck, I would say, for both those guys. I've made this point. Like many men of his generation, he has an embarrassing infatuation with Lindsay Ellis, aka the nostalgia chick, and if you don't know who that is, aka the hot dog in the face girl. If you know that,
yes. This is the connection to Channel Awesome.
Yeah. See, he was never a Channel Awesome person, but again, they all kind of have, from that era, they were all knowing each other,
like
and
the band kids incestuous circle.
Yes, just
all trading boyfriends.
There were some kids in jazz band, some in marching band. They were all fucking in some way.
Yep.
Sometimes they go to the choir room. I guess I'd probably not go into too much detail because actually I'm relatively pro Bob in this situation. I think he got caught hover-handing her one time and just got debased by her own.
But it's really funny.
It's really funny because like, he sucks and so does she, but I think she did not need to call him out like she did publicly. Look into this if you really want to. There's, I'm sure, many Twitter threads you can read. It's not clear what he does for money today. His writing career is spotty, although we did talk about him.
He lives with his mom, I believe.
I thought he lived with his aunt, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
You're probably right. In this book, he was living with his parents, and then he moved into a granny suite at the end of the book.
He got his own place, and that's the journey of the book, is him packing up his stuff, playing this video game, and moving into his own place, which is really funny because 10 years later, I'm pretty sure he lives with at least a relative.
I think at least a relative. He's not so well. He doesn't have a CWC style wiki you can just go to, so you kind of have to read between the lines sometimes. I believe the package he sent had a return address at like a house.
Oh, I didn't even look at that.
I did. I read the return label, and it was an actual. So I assume it's not a PO box. So I think it may be his own home. So we're not going to dox Movie Bob here, but
no.
But
phone book. We're not allowed to say dox anymore. It's phone booking. Because dox means something else now. It's got a very negative connotation. Now they use it on CNN.
Oh, is it like one of those things that like now
doxing is like now a synonym for swatting?
Okay, so it's like one of those words that like now your parents know what it means, like grifter, and that's like, and now it's ruined, like the definition changed.
Well, and people use dox the wrong way. They confuse it with like swatting or send pizzas to someone's house, actively harassing them. And phone booking is the new word, because that's what it is. You're looking up someone's address, old school style, in the yellow pages, or on an envelope, like what you found.
Yeah.
I mean, really obvious stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you should,
public information.
I mean, by the way, if you just know what someone's county they live in, just
county auditor wwebsites.
It's like, it's not doxing. It's just public, whatever.
Yeah, tax. Yeah, whatever. This is not advice.
This is don't dox people, but it's easier than you think. Let's see. Again, like he seems to be writing for a website that he got a job from guessing the ending of a Marvel show. But at the height of his original popularity and as an actual content creator, and just before Gamergate, in 2013, he wrote a book that's purpose was to review Super Mario Bros. 3 in the style of an academic film analysis known as Brick by Brick. Excuse me. Which is what the podcast that we're talking about today is. Did I miss any points regarding this?
No, I think you got it. And it's supposed to be, would you call it a treatment? What's it called? He compares it to similar books that people have written for film, where they go shot by shot. And he describes it in the book.
I didn't write down the term, but he was very specific that this is in the style of an academic analysis.
It's weird to have a book tell you why it needs to exist in the book itself.
Again, maybe an idea for another episode, but he gets mentioned a couple times, but Mr. James Rolfe.
Yes.
He's an author 2 times over now.
Boy, that'd be a fun book to read. I've only read excerpts of it.
Yeah. He has an autobiography where I think 60% of it is about the time he got kicked out of college for destroying a dorm.
And I don't want to make fun of my boy James.
Okay. We don't have to shit on James.
I don't know.
We have to shit on James. Although I will say, from
Movie Bob's pretty deplorable for multiple reasons. Is that a good word or is that too strong?
He's deplorables might be strong, but he does have moments where you hate him.
Yes.
Yeah, where it's like what a
horrible choices.
Yeah, what a jerk.
Capital L loser.
So he again, like he does have moments. You understand why he was popular. If not now, maybe at one point, but it's just unlikable. He really says some nasty things. I guess we'll get into it. Will, do you have your notes written? Do you want to start out kind of with the book?
I mean, let's see. On the first page.
Okay, I'm going to guess what you're going to say.
You know it. And I've got this thing annotated, and I've been working all day to transfer this to my little notebook, and I've not been doing a very good job. But I've underlined on page 7, actually, after all the dedications, introductions.
Oh, so you skipped
all that stuff. Oh, well, I guess we should start with the dedication, because that actually does play into the book.
I started out with the dedication.
Where is that? Where's the dedication?
Did you?
Oh, there it is. My book is very worn.
A dog-eared copy of Brick by Brick. Probably the probably the only 2 on Earth is in this room right now.
I look like the least interesting person in the coffee shop.
You go ahead, Will.
This book is dedicated to Shigeru Miyamoto for saving my life more times than he knows. I forgot about this.
Well, I was wondering. It's like you're going to say the one, right? You're going to say
no. I skipped ahead to the meat.
No. I was like I circled.
I did remember. So we got Christopher and Catherine Chipman for always being there. Normal stuff. Peter and Patricia Chipman for everything. Blah blah blah. And in loving memory of.
It's his grandma, right?
Yeah, but it's Evangeline. Damn it!
Oh wait, let me read it.
How do you pronounce that?
Evangeline. Evangeline, right?
Evangeline. Okay. In loving memory of Evangeline Chipman for setting an example. which plays into the rest of the book.
Yes. We'll probably get into that way later, but his grandmother probably does more so than the video game plays the centerpiece of, I'm going to call it the heart of the book. You can call it that.
It's the most interesting part. It's the subtext.
It's the yes, sorry. You're correct.
Is it subtext? I don't know. Probably not technically.
I would say there's more of a Freudian analysis of kind of the subconscious.
Neither of us are qualified to make statements.
Yeah,
like
I would say,
that.
okay, just kind of, again, I think we said this at the beginning, but neither of us are like literature people. So if we get like book stuff wrong, like, I mean, sorry.
Yeah, I had an English class in college.
So, I mean, I think we read enough, but yeah, we're not like book people. So
no, I read like 2 books a year.
Probably,
maybe.
yeah. I'd say between 2 and 4, I would say here.
Like I'm looking at all the books on my coffee table, and most of them are just like on page 2.
Is this Harry Potter?
No, it's Small Gods. I really like it.
Oh, good. I give it a shot. I think I'm reading a lot of
comedy fantasy.
Oh, okay. I think this is the book I've read most recently. I don't really read too much during football season, I guess. Sorry.
But on page 7, in the introduction, my favorite sentence, video games are the rock and roll of my generation, which plays into the Howard Stern interview where he says that video games are counterculture.
Yes, he really wants this to be a cultural thing. I think I wrote down I think I wrote that down too. I think more so in page 8. I mean, I sure wasn't really underlining anything, but I'm going to skip ahead to page 8, I guess. We can go back to the introductions, I guess.
But rock and roll was the rock and roll of his generation.
Exactly.
He was very well and alive in the 80s.
Yeah. Rock not only was
more so than now.
If you need to make an analogy of something like then it doesn't. It kind of fails really, because it's like then it just video games would be the video games of the 80s.
It's just this is the most consumerist mainstream.
Yeah. Which it kind of goes back to like
they were very cool.
Well, actually, here he has 2 contradicting thoughts, kind of on the same section, where it is the rock and roll of his time, but also a counterculture. Like, is it mainstream or is it not? Because I think video games at the time, they sold a lot of copies, but I think gamers were still like I wouldn't call it a counterculture, but definitely like a dork thing for the longest time.
Ostracized, sure.
Yeah.
And we're looking at like 2012 is actually what it wrote in the margin.
Yeah,
to your point, around when I think that's when the Avengers dropped. That's when it was cool to like comic books.
Yeah. So I think like, around this time, maybe you could make I think now video games are fairly mainstream, but I think even in 2012,
everyone's played a video game.
Yeah, even my mom plays video game. Well, not really. Like, she just Beat Saber or whatever, if you call that a game. I don't know. So I guess kind of one thing you'll notice on the intro pages is is that usually these self-published books are truly self-published and they don't have an editor. That is not the case for Brick by Brick.
And you actually reached out to the editor.
Yes, I did reach out to the editor, and we'll get to that in a second. And he actually did a lot of the artwork too, is kind of what it says. So it says editing, layout, and artwork by Charlie Verdin. Sorry about the pronunciation, Charlie. But I felt the need to reach out to him because I was like, well, what's going on? This book.
He did a really good job on the layout. I actually like the artwork.
I will say the parts that he had control over, I think he did an excellent job, or enough of an excellent job. I could probably just read what he responded to me about. Because I think we're calling this public record, right? Okay, why did I close my email out? I had this open for a reason.
There he is.
Dennis. Was that one episode or they actually... Frank starts recording Dennis and Dee's like banter.
Dude, I was thinking about that like 5 minutes ago.
So,
wow.
So I essentially I fully disclosed that this is for a podcast. So I reached out to Charlie Verdin, who runs fangamer.com. I think he even is the owner, I think, a founder and owner, from what I understand. I really don't know his exact title.
Website for video game merchandise.
Yes.
So plushies, stickers, mugs.
Yeah. I think they even...
Garbage.
I think they even published several games,
Not
too.
garbage. Sorry, Charlie. I want to be nice.
I would say we're gamers, but I think we're like relatively, I wouldn't say anti, but we're a bit...
I got an amiibo I found in Kroger right across from me, a Dr. Mario amiibo. It was in the water bottle section and it was dirty. And I took it to my girlfriend's house at the time and washed it.
I would say I would say anti-gaming merch, but it's not our thing. And he runs it's a fairly professional looking website. It's a lot of cool, if you're into it, cool plushies and t-shirts and logos. I think they even Charlie even said himself he actually wrote a companion novel to UFO 50.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
I love that game.
So I mean, hold on. Let me just read you out the email.
UFO 50 is awesome.
So I just kind of like I'm not gonna lie here. I kind of really grilled him and was like, dude, what the hell? Like you seem like a professional kind of dude. Like, why'd you write your name as the editor of one of the worst books ever written? And I was pretty mean, I would say, in kind of maybe my first email. And then he reached out to me, and I guess I'll just read it word for word because and I made it clear, by the way, that this is for a podcast, so I think he shouldn't probably have too many issues when we're doing this. I don't mind answering a few questions. I haven't thought about this project in over a decade, though, so I apologize if I can't recall some specifics. Bob reached out to us about publishing a book he'd written, and we agreed to print it and sell it for him. We're a much smaller and younger company at the time, so we were exploring our capabilities as we grappled with our company identity. I had no real training or experience in book editing, which tracks. So the whole project was educational for me. I definitely caught many spelling and grammatical errors, but because of my lack of experience, I didn't realize how many times I should have combed through the copy in order to realize my responsibility as editor to influence the content of the book. Nothing will deepen your respect for good editors quite like editing a book poorly. I accept responsibility in that regard. For what it's worth, I sent a formal apology to Bob afterwards for the poor job I did as editor. He responded graciously, as if, and if he ever harbored any frustration about the editing process, he never expressed it to me. In short, the only thing I did for the book's contents were proofreading, layout, and art for the cover and chapters, which I think we both agree is kind of the highlight of the book.
That's bad. I don't know a lot about reviewing books. I've never done it, but if you're looking at the artwork instead of the content,
you can judge a book by its cover, and it actually works. Neither I nor Fangamer have any effect on the rest of the content of the book, again, which tracks. It basically exactly what Bob sent to us from the beginning. You're correct, in the book is not mentioned or listed on our website anymore. But one of the things I said was like, it seems like you kind of don't admit credit to it, but he's essentially said, this is not due to a specific desire to hide our shame or anything like that, though that's just standard procedure for us to delist products after they retire. Very few products are available very few of the products available in 2013 can be found on our website today. Regardless of the quality of the content of Brick by Brick, it is not the sort of book we would publish today. Our current books tend to be art books, game guides, educational texts. On that note, I should mention that I am personally the lead writer and editor of our most recent book, The UFO Companion. I'm quite proud of it. Within the context of this conversation, I consider it a testament to the value of gaining experience and learning from your failure over time. At the very least, I hope you don't need to issue a formal apologies after this one, haha. I hope that was helpful. Good luck with the podcast. So
very nice.
It was very, very nice of him to reach out to me. He has no obligation to do so because I was very critical of something that he put his name to.
He did not have to respond at all, and I don't think I would have.
No, I don't. I want to agree. So very, very gracious of him. Seems like a nice guy. He actually ran for city council in Tucson, Arizona. So he seems politically active, but also, looked at his Twitter, doesn't seem...
Small business owner, politically active, not much of an editor.
Not much of an editor, but maybe...
Yeah, but, 10 years ago, time to learn. Again, like, gaming merch isn't really our thing, but looks like they publish some games. I did like the Stardew Valley vinyl they have. It's, like, colored, like, that kind of tie-dye. Yeah. So I may buy that for myself, to be honest. That's a great soundtrack.
Great soundtrack. So, that being said, this book... desperately needed a better...
We're not consumers, unless it's a soundtrack that I like.
Vinyl's fine.
Vinyl, that's a little cooler.
If it's something that I like. But needless to say, this needed an editor. There's certainly
You picked up on a lot more grammatical errors than I did.
We'll get into one that really bugged me. I kind of started to ignore it.
I was trying to gloss over it.
I kind of started to ignore it over time, but just like...
Because I figured this is kind of a fly-by-night operation.
Yeah. I think we'd be more forgiving if, like, Bob wasn't so smug.
Yes.
Because I think, like, the idea of, like, a self-published, like... Because, like, what we mentioned earlier, Jamesy. Mr. Rolfe.
Yes.
If he self-publishes a book, and his whole shtick is that his literal name of the website is cinemaster.com. He butchers games, butchers movies.
He makes a clown out of himself.
If he makes a self-published book with his wife as the person who writes the introduction, so be it. That's kind of his whole thing. He's kind of a lovable schmuck. Bob does it. His whole thing is that he is an elitist. So if he does really anything kind of half-assed, it really does stick out because he does fancy himself a genius.
I found the paragraph I was looking for.
Oh, go for it. Yeah.
On page 9, he says, specifically, in film writing, there is such a thing as the shot-by-shot analysis, which is exactly what it sounds like, a book, or more often, academic paper or presentation that pores over a single film, piece by piece, scene by scene, detail by detail, the lines, the compositions, the shots, the score, and the actors, directors, writers, and production history that informed it all. Is that a run-on sentence?
Yeah, yes.
Goodness gracious.
I should say yes. Bob.
There's a lot of run-on sentences in this.
So Bob speaks in run-on sentences, so I get so I'm used to like the way he talks. So if you kind of do it,
he's trying to copy Yahtzee.
Yes.
Which his whole shtick is his reviews are 5 minutes of one sentence talking as fast as possible.
Jeez, that's tedious.
I love it.
Oh, okay.
Or I used to.
Maybe I need to watch.
To finish up real quick, not just an aesthetic criticism or a history or a production report, but a fusion of all three and more, the complete picture of a film. Why didn't this exist for video games?
Well, we know why now.
It's because video games aren't that deep.
Not just that, I mean, like, I'm going to say something very controversial. Maybe it's not controversial, because I think people have written about, I think even Roger Ebert said something about this, is that the idea of a game being a game no longer makes it, like, art. Like, in kind of, like, what makes a game art is the elements of a game, and the actual kind of, the feedback loop of playing a game does not make it art.
So the parts are worth more than the sum?
In a way, in the sense, the
soundtrack by itself is more interesting when it's part of the game.
I would say yes, in the sense that like the sprite work, the kind of the backgrounds, the layout, the soundtrack, but like the actual analysis of the game is just kind of like, I wouldn't say yes shallow, but like it almost makes it unreviewable in this way he's talking about it.
It's an experience.
It's an experience. Yeah, well, it's like, okay. Like,
but I guess movies are an experience too, so I got stuck thinking about this.
Well, think about this. Like, would you read a book? You're not a super...
I guess, yeah, well, an experience that you make for yourself. A movie, everyone watches it and has the exact same experience.
Okay, like, I guess...
you can play Mario any way you want.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't make it interesting to someone else.
You can play it without jumping. You can beat the game without jumping in Mario 64. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
You can make it interesting for yourself.
So, like, there's countless books written about, like, the 1950 Snow Bowl, like the famous Ohio State-Michigan game, I guess. There's books and paintings and stuff, and that's a game. It's about a game, right?
Right.
Like a football game. But no one would ever read or write a book about, like, you and your friends playing. Like,
but the outcome of the Snow Bowl is the same. Everyone watching it had about the same experience.
Yeah.
The only difference being which team you're rooting for.
Yeah. But there's like, I mean, there is kind of a painting you can, like, with...
If you watch 12 Angry Men, you're going to have about the same feelings watching it.
Yeah, it's your take on it, I guess.
As everyone else.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a secret ending to 12 Angry Men where, where you can play as George Costanza and convince everyone to that the kid's guilty.
Well, I mean, like with the magic of AI. I mean, shoot, that's
I'm so excited for that era.
This is a relatively mid on AI podcast.
I'm pro AI if it's really funny.
I think that's our. I think we said this recently. It's like AI is only ethical if it's funny, free, and you don't get credit.
We're gonna put in a AI co-host to fill in the gaps.
Very insightful. Yeah. They're just gonna glaze us for idiots. Yeah. By the way, I think that like the last 5 minutes, it was like I'm sure someone who's actually smart is gonna tell us like games are art, but I'm.
Your microphone's gonna pick that up.
Oh shoot. Probably gonna pick up the coffee I've been slurping too. That's probably not good.
Yeah, I've been slurping into my microphone on purpose. I actually did not have a lot for the introduction besides that paragraph where he compares his book to shot by shot, scene by scene, detail by detail, whatever. And we got into that. We talked about how you can't really do it for a video game.
Yeah. It's. But here's the thing, and I think we'll get into this in the actual.
Do you have anything else for the introduction?
I didn't have anything else. Let's move on because I think we'll have more to say about the actual analysis at the later, I guess, of the actual like game review part of it because
that's the meat and potatoes.
That's the meat and potatoes.
We didn't talk about how this book was divided up either.
Yeah, sorry. So it's divided into, I guess, an intro like every book has. Every nonfiction book kind of has some type of intro. It's divided into part 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're divided kind of unevenly. Part 1 is a history of Nintendo and Mario, and by history, it's essentially him kind of memorizing Nintendo facts.
It's kind of the Wikipedia page.
I don't think
it's not it's actually the best section of the book.
Yes. Well, one because
I think I did learn a few things.
I did. Well, part of it is that like
not much, but
not much. Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 facts.
Yeah. I think this might actually be where I learned the radar scope fact. So that's
whatever.
Yeah. But
I'd rather just read a book about the history of Nintendo by an actual historian who does. Oh, that came up in interviews too. He didn't do any
primary sources.
He didn't do any of that.
Which is a kind of a cardinal sin when it comes to nonfiction writing.
Right.
You kind of need sources of some kind because literally, it's almost like
it's just facts he's memorized.
Part 1 is like literally, it's not reading off a Wikipedia page. It's his Wikipedia page.
Part 1 is a brief history of Mario, and I hate how that invokes Stephen Hawking. Because he's going for a brief history of time, which is an excellent nonfiction book.
I didn't know that.
I've got it in the shelf right next to you. The second edition, a briefer history of time.
Hey, where am
I? Right there.
Oh, right here.
Yeah, Mr. Waspy actually gave that to me.
Oh,
one of my favorite books.
Mr. Waspy gave me a picture book. That's
one of the most excellent books ever written, and it's supposed to bring physics down to the common man.
Okay.
So he's trying to invoke that. He's trying to invoke the history of Nintendo to bring it down, to simplify it for us.
Again,
for the public.
Fancies himself an elite, but just has deeply mainstream taste in things.
You know, astrophysics, something, relativity, stuff that's actually extremely complicated.
Yeah.
And condensing that down into a digestible chunk in a small book, that's a really good idea. Written by, I don't know, one of the most famous professors ever to exist.
I had no idea that's what he's what he was invoking.
That pissed me off.
See, one thing about this was actually kind of what's interesting about that is that he actually does the opposite. He takes literally baby games and makes them needlessly complicated. So,
and he gets some of the facts wrong.
Yes, yeah, I noticed that. I guess in this, kind of
just got a lot of opinions in it too.
Yes, yeah. I guess on page 9, this is where he mentions Mr. James Rolfe, which he mentioned several times already. So I
back at the introduction.
No, yeah. What we're talking about. Oh, sorry, actually, we still.
Yeah. He's mentioned. Yeah, he's talking about that's still in the introduction.
I guess we should still lay out the parts. So part 1,
he wants to be Yahtzee so bad.
I wish I had more context for this
and
Yahtzee.
You should check it out because he is one of the smartest video game reviewers, if not the smartest video game reviewer of the late 2000s, early 2010s.
Interesting.
Great stuff. Find a video game you like, watch it. It'll take 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Oh, so he truly understands brevity, unlike...
Yeah, that's his whole shtick, is talking extremely fast and making a lot of witty jokes.
Okay.
And getting in and out of the review as fast as possible.
I'm going to go out on a limb. Is this guy of the Commonwealth? Is he a Briton, perhaps?
No, Australian.
Well, that's Commonwealth.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. That makes. I was like thinking, this feels like English humor. is what I'm getting from this. Let's see. But no, is he like the guy with like he kind of has like a stick figure kind of avatar?
Yeah. With the we'll bringing it back to the milady fedora.
Oh, he's okay, maybe at the time. Okay, I mean we were from this era. It wasn't all complete losers who had fedoras, but it was.
I mean, he might be a loser, but I don't care.
Yeah. It was.
I think he's very good at reviewing video games, and that's all I needed him for.
What are you talking about, dog?
And the originator of the PC Master Race meme.
Oh, that
glorious PC Master Race.
I mean, shoot,
like disgusting console plebeians.
I think even my dad might even know that joke. So yeah, I guess he's permeated the monoculture in some way.
Like a lot of people were talking about.
Okay.
Except for maybe James Rolfe.
Yeah.
Maybe gifs of him just saying "fuck."
Yeah. Oh my god, I guarantee an aunt of mine has shared that. So, so I mean, I guess back to James. I mean, different. He has a fiction book too. Because I wrote this down, I was thinking about would be fun to read his. It was back in September, but he dropped like what to him is a treatment of a horror movie he's trying to make, but he's. After he made the AVGN movie, I think he never wants to touch actual film ever again.
I wish he'd make another movie.
So he made kind of like a little novella, like a 90-page little kind of I would call a Goosebumpsy kind of little book. That's about a haunted theme park.
I want him to make more stuff instead of trying to ape off of Red Letter Media.
He has no time.
Yeah, I mean, he has children and a wife and things and a house and things that Bob doesn't have.
Take a wild guess. I have no time. We should talk about movie Bob, not James Rolfe. I think we've talked. Let's see. So I think it's just a dull section in general. Again,
page 15, he mentions that Super Mario Brothers 3 is the highest selling game of all time or something. Something stupid like that. And I actually went to Nintendo's official website and I found the sales numbers on the NES. Super Mario Brothers 1, or just Super Mario Brothers, 40.24 million. Super Mario Brothers 3, 17.78 million. Not even close.
Even then, even by the time this was written, Wii Sports probably sold more than the fucking Volkswagen Beetle.
That's one of the highest selling games of all time. It's number 5.
Maybe he was putting the thumb on the scale by saying games that weren't a part of a tie-in package like Mario 1 and Wii Sports and
I'm going with NES numbers too.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so it doesn't even crack.
Yeah, NES and Famicom numbers.
God, even the sports games, I'm sure Tecmo Bowl sold a bazillion copies.
But yeah, he gets into stupid stuff like Doki Doki Panic. What's the joke from Scott Pilgrim where it's with a Pac-Man and Puckman?
Puckman, yeah.
That's how I feel about Doki Doki Panic. Every time anyone brings it up, it's do you know that Super Mario Brothers 2 is actually a different game in Japan?
He mentions this in every section, and I think some sections multiple times. And this goes back to our original theory.
This whole part 1 is supposed to establish base knowledge about Nintendo in case you have no idea what this is. Why would you pick up this book if you didn't know anything about it?
There is so much that is like that, where it's it is either written
it's filler.
Yeah. It's either stuff is too simple if you're a Nintendo fan, and it's too niche and dorky if you're kind of just casually trying to
Doki Doki Panic, talking about how Mario was originally. Mario Brothers, the arcade game, was originally supposed to be a Popeye game.
Mm-hmm.
That's well kind of
well known if you're a Nintendo fan.
Yeah, I guess if you've just played Mario once, and that's all you know, then maybe that'd be interesting. But he repeats that stuff over and over.
Yes. Well, again, part 1 and 2, which again, part 1 is a history. Part 2 is Bob's history with and again, you're gonna have some overlap because Bob is almost the same age as Mario. I think he even says that at some point. It came out the same year he was born. Maybe or Donkey Kong was. I'm sure he says that somewhere. Here's something that he does. Here's page 17. Something that he does, I find.
I have a few notes on page 17, 16.
Well, let's see if we have some overlap. So something that he does, page kind of in this whole section, is that he really clearly, if history doesn't conform to his worldview, he really doesn't want to talk about it or kind of manipulates it, which is it's pretty terrible for a history section. So he calls the N64, like Mario 64 era, like the dark times, or like, which is like
because it doesn't sell. He's obsessed with numbers.
He loves the big folks. No, but like he's very mad that the PS1 sold well and the N64 didn't. But like Mario, I mean, it's about cultural relevance in Mario 64. That's where the game.
You've heard me talk about it, get really drunk and talk about how Super Mario Brothers 64 is like the most important game ever invented.
I think you can say that
because it laid the framework for how 3D games are supposed to work.
Yeah, because it's like, wasn't it originally like the first couple 3D games you had those weird.
Have you seen Bubsy?
I was just about to talk about Bubsy.
Yeah, tank controls.
Where you have the left and right trigger.
Yes.
And it was like, they didn't think about how to like move someone in a 3D space except for just move. I mean, it was so ingenious to have an analog stick.
Just one.
And you move up.
And then the camera just works.
Yeah. It's kind of, it's
you press the button, he does exactly what you think he's going to do.
Yeah.
Mario games are all about control.
In the 2D games...
I'm surprised he doesn't mention that. That's one of the most interesting parts of Nintendo's process. They develop the controls first, then the world around the character.
It's so shocking how it's a 200-page book about a game, and he really doesn't talk about game mechanics.
The game design stuff is like the most interesting part.
It would be... that's where you can actually get into the analysis of like why the human brain will intuitively can play a Mario game, like just without like
you learn how to play the game in like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's shocking that for a book that's this long and almost never talks about the interesting parts about it.
I don't think he talks about like how there's a Goomba on the first screen that you're supposed to hit if you don't know how to jump.
I think
that next time you try to jump.
I think he does. I think he talks about the fire flower plant.
But then he doesn't talk about how there's no instructions. There's no like speech bubble that comes up and says, press A to jump.
Yeah. Oh my God. Maybe that's why he hates Sonic too, especially 3D Sonic. Boy, do those love talking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
I think those games are kind of fun.
Hard wreck on Sonic Frontiers if you haven't played it, boy.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
I like Sonic Frontiers.
On page 16, he's getting super worried about the console wars. He talks about that a lot. This is like the first time he has a victim complex, which comes up many times in the book, especially in the next section. I wrote, he's like a playground kid and Sega does what Nintendo don't.
Imagine being an adult and still like taking that to heart.
Just, he's so scared about the Genesis taking any popularity away from Nintendo. And then he also talks about on page 17, he goes into talk about the live action Super Mario Brothers movie. I think that movie kind of rocks.
I'm going to, I think in the next section I write about the Mario movie, I'm going to go with a hard disagree. I think the movie is...
That's a fine opinion to have. He writes it like it's the 9/11 of Mario.
I equate the Mario...
Oh, yeah, that's the next section he writes about that. But it's just like it destroyed him.
Oh, we'll get into what also destroyed him.
Yeah, same with Pixels, it destroyed him. And for a rational person, it's like, that movie kind of sucked, or I'm not going to go see that. I'm going to watch Happy Gilmore instead if I want to watch a Adam Sandler.
See, just the two most thin-skinned, easily angered, Stern and Movie Bob were on the air, and no one recorded it. That's so annoying. I don't know, here's another thing that I find that pops up time and time again, and I just wrote this is a general comment on part 1, is he has this weird kind of built-in supremacy to the 3D, 2D platforming Mario games.
Yes.
On console.
Yes.
Or sorry, I shouldn't say 3D. 2D console platformers. So he kind of downplays New Super Mario Brothers DS. It was like, oh, that was kind of like a little fun experiment.
Really disappointed with Yoshi's Island that it wasn't called Super Mario World 4.
Yeah.
Very disappointing.
Isn't it that way on Game
He
Boy?
wants to see the numbers go up.
Isn't it that way in the Game Boy Advance re-releases?
I think, but like,
Yeah.
who cares?
Oh yeah. But like he thinks that like the absolute turning point for Mario was New Super Mario Brothers Wii. Like that is like the true turn to form. He really doesn't mention Galaxy, which is kind of like I think considered the best Mario game.
The princess kidnapped. The culprit, Bowser. Standing in your way, the Koopalings. Bowser's kids. Just that whole sentence. I hate reading that.
It sucks. Well, he writes like marketing. That's like sounds like marketing.
The last sentence on page 21 from the section 1 is impressive considering how humbly he began. Incredible considering how humbly I came to meet him. I hate that.
It sucks so much.
I wrote this sentence just sucks.
At one point he says like Miyamoto was like a celebrity, and I was like even like maybe amongst Nintendo fans, but like I think if my parents saw like Miyamoto at a coffee shop and like I don't know,
they'd ask if that's Jackie Chan.
Like I was like, they wouldn't know this guy. I mean, maybe he was. I mean, Miyamoto's kind of an interesting looking guy. He's got like
pockmarks.
Yeah. He's like a 70-year-old man with a bowl haircut. But other than that, it's like, he's like just an obscure character outside of video game circles, from what I understand.
Do you want to move on to section 2, or do we have anything else?
I have nothing else to say about section 1.
It's not that interesting.
It's just a history of Mario.
It's not even that good. It's mostly him getting very excited about Mario and kind of just spouting the facts off the Wikipedia page.
Right. Part 2 is
no primary research.
And no, yes, which is telling because a lot of it is kind of fabricated. I don't say like bent towards his history. History bends towards Bob.
And this comes up another time, but he talks about how mom and dad can walk to a store sporting a nostalgic t-shirt referencing a Mario game they grew up with, and to purchase a Mario doll for a child who's growing up with him now. He loves the merch.
Yes. Which
plug our sponsor, Fangamer.
We actually are pro Fangamer. I'll say
we are. If you want to sponsor us, that'd be cool.
I mean, if anything, they're nice people. I'll say that.
Send us a Mario doll.
Yeah. I don't want to go to the Manhattan store. That's too far.
They don't have a brick and mortar. You're talking about the Nintendo store. They do?
A Nintendo store? Yeah, man.
No, the Fangamer.
I think they do. They have a brick and mortar store in Tucson.
Ooh,
I think so.
You're right. Trip to Tucson, part 2.
More like trip to Tucson. Nintendo reference.
Yeah, you're Earthbound.
Is that what it's?
You got to be a real fan.
He never mentions Earthbound here. That's like the ultimate soy Nintendo.
At this point, it was not. I think it was still deep hipster.
Even in 2012?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
The only reason anyone knew who Ness was because of Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Because like at that point, like 6 people had played Earthbound.
Well, like I think by
that game bombed.
Wasn't it like it didn't go on the eShop? Like not the eShop. What was before the eShop? Where you had to buy the games.
Virtual console.
It didn't go on the virtual console until the Wii U.
Did not.
Yeah, and it just now got, not just now, but it's only been on Nintendo Switch Classics. What's it called? What's the branding called now?
The online NSO.
thing. NSO. It's only been on Super Nintendo for a couple years now. So it's like, unless you have the original copy, which from what I understand is...
and the mini Super Nintendo, if you remember that console. Like the little toy one.
Oh, yeah.
And they had one for the NES too.
Yeah. Those things are cool.
Yeah, the Earthbound fans are eating pretty good these days.
Yeah, now they are. Well, I mean, Mother 3 on the translation. We love you, Nintendo fans.
I don't. Don't talk to me about video games.
A little Earthbound aside.
I don't want to hang out with video game people that bad.
Do you want to talk about the Smash tournament in the basement of
I think I wrote something about that.
That's not really much to say, though, to be honest.
It was just the smelliest thing I've ever done. was going into this basement at a Donato's Pizza in Columbus. And I remember playing Smash Brothers down there. I think I went once, maybe twice, to play in this tournament. And I stopped going to it because it was extremely smelly.
Mm.
And everyone's personalities sucked. And from what I heard from a friend who still went to it, they had smell checks. They had a designated person to go sniff your armpits to make sure you took a shower that day.
Who knew that Smash Bros. Fans are antisocial shut-ins?
I don't understand why people don't like taking showers. It doesn't click for me.
It feels so good. You get it gets the soap. Your hair is good.
It's ugh.
Showers are nice, people. Take them, please. But yeah, let's get into the part two. This is actually probably this is the section. If you're going to read,
I
this
hope
book,
you get some more notes on it because I really don't.
I have tons. I have tons of notes in section
that's
2.
Good. I'm going to count on you for this.
Yeah, this is kind of, if you're going to read this book, which I don't think we would recommend this, if just to say it now.
This is the section.
This is the section. It's only about 30 pages long, but it is kind of
if you want to get into Bob's psyche and his deep trauma.
Yes, yeah. This is kind of, he tells on himself a lot. For better or worse. Better for our entertainment, but it's some of it's so sad it's almost kind of hard to read.
A better editor
would have said, dude, cut a lot of this out because you sound
this is embarrassing. Go see a therapist.
Yeah. So he kind of this is what again, to use a modern term, he trauma dumps
yes
a lot. And by trauma, I think a lot of times he was maybe the instigator in a lot of cases. So anyway, I guess on page 24, we start out with part 2, and he makes what at first I thought was a whimsical connection between his own birth year and the creation of Mario. Now, I thought that
he loves numbers.
He loves numbers. He loves kind of little serendipitous little connections, and I thought that was cute. Again, I'm only 25 pages, a quarter of the way through this book. I did not realize he would do this for literally everything. So it got very not charming very quick. And at first I liked the illustrations, again, done by the editor. Again, shout out to Charlie, seems like a nice guy. But one issue I had with kind of the whole book is that, I'm sorry, maybe I sound like a baby here, but it could use some charts and illustrations, like little kind of pictures to kind of go along with what's going on. Maybe like a timeline here or two.
That'd be a better way to fill out this book is illustrations of young Bob, the adventures of young Bob.
Right. Or in a lot of the parts, maybe we'll get into this in part 3 and 4, but God, they could use some illustrations because Bob has terrible descriptions of everything. Part 3, we'll get into it, but it is.
The bulk of this book is about his marathon session playing Super Mario Bros. 3 and writing about his experience. The book in itself was our marathon experience, and now we're doing our own reflection on it.
Yes, yeah. Just kind of, again, I think we mentioned him earlier, but our friend Billy, he's a fan of he's an actual literature nut. He reads Russian literature for fun, like 1,000-page books. And he said this was the most tedious thing he's ever read in his life, so that says anything about kind of.
He's like I'm reading War and Peace for like the 3rd time or whatever. Crime and Punishment.
Yeah. Or Dostoevsky.
Whatever. I was trying not to say it. Brothers Karamazov.
Yeah.
Whatever. I read a little bit of that.
He's a big fan of that. I made the mistake of pronouncing that. I'm going to get a lot of shit.
It's okay. No one's going to see this.
No, someone will. There will be someone who types in who keep like that. There is people,
actually
there will be people who keyword search for Movie Bob because he's an interesting character. Kind of one thing I'm just gonna probably read.
Oh, you did forget to mention that Bob is 5.5 months older than Mario.
Oh well, again,
1981.
Again, a kind of a total baby in the sense that he cares about
like half months. What? It's
I know.
Who cares?
Maybe I'm just gonna read. Maybe I'm just gonna read word for word page 25 and 26 because this is so telling.
Good idea
of Bob. And we probably just read more passages because this is a book review after all.
Boy, he has no rhythm when he writes. I'm just looking at all the punctuation.
Sucks.
I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to make it sound like he's talking in his reviews.
Again, an editor just say like, "Hey, this sounds like you," but
it does.
because like
I don't think he's a bad presenter.
no, there's a lot. He's for, you know, we have a lot of shit to say about him, but he's not a half bad YouTuber, which this is a book. It's not a YouTube video. So reading from page 25, but I remember exactly where I was when I first connected with the NES.
Oh, yep. My eyes kept falling to that sentence. Connected is in quotation marks.
Yeah, which is not how you write that, but whatever. Because it was the moment I first, quotation mark, discovered Mario. I was with my mother. Here's something that really stuck out to me, and we'll talk about it later. I was with my mother playing a visit to the home of a new friend. We met in kindergarten. My mother wanted to meet his before we arranged any play dates. I was the firstborn, so research like this went into pretty much every decision. This is the 80s, by the way. This is pre, like, kids locked inside all the time. And his mother was...
Right, you just go walk down the street.
Yeah, so his this is, like, early 80s, and his mother is, like, already, like, locked...
Oh, you want to babysit for my kid? Great.
It was, like, vetting other mothers, so this is interesting. While our mothers chatted, my friends had something he wanted to show me in the kitchen, his NES. Currently sitting on the kitchen table hooked up to a small TV set, and there, on screen, was Super Mario Brothers. I was captivated immediately. I had never seen a video game, at home or otherwise. Look like this.
Because I think he does mention that he has an Atari 2600.
Yes, which, again, he needs to review this. Instead of the usual black background populated by conflicting neon shapes, here was a bright blue sky with a puffy white cloud over rich brown earth and green bushes. The creatures were identifiable, with eyes and feet and movement. The bricks looked like bricks. The castles looked like castles. And there was Mario, chubby, clad in unassuming overalls, and his preposterous mustache, looking for all the world like no hero of anything else I'd ever seen. I watched him play, gladly for what seemed like forever. It was probably more like 20 minutes. He uses parentheses a little too gratuitously. Again, probably because he's speaking like he does. Before I was offered a turn myself, I was terrible at it, dying repeatedly. But I was also transfixed. The miraculous machine, to my eyes, projected a cartoon you could control onto a TV. There were more of them? One that looked, according to my friends, even cooler, with soldiers and bombs and cars and all manner of things? And maybe even more with this, quotation mark, Mario person, whose image now refused to leave my mind. I was mesmerized. I was hooked. I was sold. My parent, on the other hand, would take further convincing. My brother and I were not exactly hurting for playthings. A game console was quite an investment. And I can only assume they remember the last time a toy like this had become a big deal, and it hasn't lasted very long. In addition, well, I was not the easiest child in the world to be raising. At the time, I was, quote-unquote, bad at school. I acted out, sassed my teachers, zoned out and daydreamed, and turned in a lot of poor work. I wasn't, quote-unquote, good at much of anything school-related, and other than drawing and creating creative writing. So it wasn't as though I was in for some kind of attaboy reward for NES would fulfill. Instead, they broke out the old Atari 2600, and it could be, quote-unquote, mine. Quote-unquote. Now, thanks to the NES, the market had come back to life, and they were making games for the system again.
I'm so excited about the video game market.
Yeah, as you are when you're
numbers.
As you are when you're 5, and we'll get into kind of.
Thank God the NES got us out of the video game crowd. Nothing else would do that.
It was no substitute for an NES, and especially not for Mario, but it was something, and looking back, starting with such an early form of gaming helped refine my skills, and probably gave me a lot more respect for the evolution of the medium at all. Yes, when you're 5. Meanwhile, I was filling page after page of drawing with painstaking recreations of the vivid images I've seen in my friend's kitchen TV. That wide open world, those fearsome enemies, that iconic hero. And this is
supposed to talk about cartoons. The cartoons on the screen.
Cartoons on the screen. And this is supposed to be the part where I tell you how I got my NES, the circumstances, the reasons, how I felt. Except I don't remember. That sounds ridiculous, even to me, given the subject of this book and to the detail with which I recall everything else. Granted, I was 5.
Yeah, more into his superiority.
Yeah.
He recalls everything.
It was like, yeah, exactly. Like, literally, like, how do you remember?
Why didn't he just lie?
I mean, I guess I'll stop reading here because it's just more of this shit. But again, does this story even remotely pass the smell test?
It's fine, I guess.
To me, it's
Pretty pointless.
It's pointless because it's like I think we all had that. You might have been the one that showed me Nintendo games, and I couldn't write down what happened.
NES was my first console.
Yeah. I think I would visit Will at his house, and he was the only one with really video games. I think I might have had a PS2 though. I think my dad.
Yeah, you had a PS2. That was sweet.
Oh my god, Lego Star. I was huge. I was just a Star Wars fan. I would consume anything Star Wars. So
the same way Bob feels about his Atari 2600 is how I felt about my NES. And going to other friends' houses that had N64 or PS1 or PS2 or GameCube or anything with 3D.
Oh my god. I mean, like
going from Bee-Boop to, something that looks like a movie is incredible.
I mean, this kind of gets into like the kind of the meta text of the whole thing, and that's just like you and me, we're adults. We're kind of young. We're a little bit younger than Bob was when I think he was 33 when he wrote this. So I think we're a little bit younger than he was when he wrote this. But like, I think by the time you get to like our age, you realize that like everyone had like the same experiences more or less. If you're like just a middle class American boy, and it's not really worth writing them down or like indulging on them, I guess.
I don't have an interesting take on the first time I saw a video game.
I'm sure it was amazing. I'm sure I was drawing pictures and like stuff, but it's just like I don't remember. I don't know. Just more.
Oh, I got a good one. I think you were in school with me. 4th grade, I got in trouble. I got sent to the principal's office because I was drawing bob-ombs all over the margins of my paper, and the little wind-up bombs.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure Bob describes in
immense
extreme detail. I just thought they looked cool because I'm like, oh, it's a little wind-up soldier, but it's a bomb. And they thought it was a bomb threat. My mom had to come pick me up.
Oh, to grow up post 9/11, pre-recession.
Now it's the least of their worries.
Yeah. Now, yeah. Hey, at least he's drawing something. It's not just flipping through TikTok, I guess is probably their approach now.
Addicted to AI chatbots.
Yeah.
CNN is covering that all day long, by the way.
Interesting. I don't watch cable news. So.
Not worth it. It's not worth it.
Do you want to get beer? You have beer?
Oh yeah, I got beer.
Yeah. Do you want to take a quick beer break?
Sure. You want me to pause?
Nah, I just probably keep going. So you're going to cut this, or you're going to edit this, right?
Well, this is an hour 38 minutes of editing.
Okay. Well,
we'll see.
We'll pause then. For